Underdog Daily with the Badge Roast, Jon and Nez hanging out. Black and Yellow Dog app, platform of the people, Underdog Fantasy. Yeah, light daily day today. Abnormal. We had NBA draft yesterday. We had a daytime diamond, which was just the main contest this morning. We got tons of stuff going on right now in the YouTube verse amongst our community. I think Davis is live. I think Pete's live. I think JJ's live. I think, if you guys choose to spend your time here with us, thank you so much. Or if you happen to be watching this after the fact because you're watching all sorts of that other stuff, we appreciate you. Please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, all that fun stuff. But most notably, Ness, we're not going to do a show on it today, but we got a contest coming to a close soon here over the course of the weekend in the baseball streets. There, your baby, the 7th inning stretch here, man. You got an announcement for the people.
Yeah, just another update. Been hard at work updating these ranks and made some changes to the sheet as well, where you can actually see like the delta between my rank and ADP. That is beneficial more for me than you guys, so that way I can see where I'm way off now and trying to stay on track as far as like what ADP has done as far as movement goes, because truthfully I have not been in these streets in the last week or so. I'm at 80. A lot of things going on in the house, all good, just busy here, busy grinding NFL best ball. So I think I'm going to like lay the 7th inning stretch to rest at a cool 80, but I'm going to keep up with these ranks because there are so many exciting players that have come into the fold that are like rocketing up in ADP. So I want to like be ahead of that and make sure that I'm keeping up with injuries and shit like that. So yeah, those are available for YouTube members. If you go to the YouTube, our homepage, go to posts, you can see the link. Gatekeeping this link for YouTube members until probably Saturday, and then I'll release it for everybody else. But for now, yeah, here it is.
No, yeah, I like that. We'll give people a little sneak peek of the top 30 there. I mean, not a ton to be learned in the top 30 here, but yeah, anyone else who's jumping out to you, Nez? Obviously, you touched on some of the rookies now and some of the injuries. You kind of just as a overarching statement said a lot of these injured players or guys working their way back from injury are overpriced right now. Yeah, anyone in particular that you find yourself like, whoa, I'm way out over my skis, or I'm way ahead of market here?
Well, from a portfolio standpoint, I have way too much Bubba Chandler.
Yeah.
That he like progressively has gotten worse as the minor league season has gone on, so that's not good. So I gave him like a huge dock in the ranks. My bad, my bad, fellas, on that one. Jake Miz, Chase Burns, big increases. Bregman is still sitting with like a top 50 ADP. He's out till past the All-Star break. Just no thank you. That's way too expensive, way too big of a hit. Hunter Green, I'm out on. I gave Wyatt Langford a huge decrease because he's getting, images on the oblique, but he's not completely out yet. And yeah, I don't care if people see this because obviously in my opinion, the real value is being able to, export it. And these will change, up until Saturday or so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a fun contest, man. I'm trying to stay in tune with I'm trying to make these recency biased heavy because that's kind of the value, right? You want to know if you are a recency biased person, you want to know who's hot. So I'm trying to keep up with the trends here for our loyal members.
Cool, man. Yeah, well done. Obviously the biggest value add here is just pulling out the huge landmines in ADP, and the landmines are so much more obvious in mid-season baseball just because of injuries and known information right now than they are in any subset of rankings you could have for football in best ball season right now.
100%. That's what I think is the biggest thing. It's just getting those guys removed from the ranks. It's just so nice. So you don't accidentally auto anybody that's hurt.
Cool. Yeah, man, sounds good to me there. Yeah, anything else closing you want to say kind of 7th inning stretch?
No, I got the other rookie that is really highly ranked for me here is Chase DeLauder. He is killing it in AAA, should be up very, very soon. And he's going to be an impact player for Cleveland or at least be hitting in the order like it. So I would definitely get out ahead of that.
Dude, you know, it was one funny ass narrative I thought of yesterday when I was, or I guess it was 2 days ago when I was watching that ball game, was the narrative of me being overweight Nolan Jones and you being overweight early season Chase DeLauder, and how their paths could never possibly intersync. And now he could rip his job from him down the stretch from two different teams and two different starting points at the start of the year. It's pretty hysterical if that ever came to fruition.
That is, I actually was not thinking of that. That's unfortunate that it has to be at your expense.
It won't be. Noel Jones has played pretty well. They'll find room for both of them, and they'll do like Jones, Lane Thomas, and Chase in the outfield kind of thing. But I just thought it'd be a hilarious narrative based on all this talk we had in the early season, right?
Yeah, it's full circle for sure.
Yeah. Nez, let's talk about yesterday's winners. I did not get in the daytime diamond because we were having a little bit. Oh, as you guys can see, I'm making some picks on the clock here in the slow draft, checking out my capital allotment there. We'll get to that in a bit. But I did not get in the daytime diamond yesterday because everybody filled it while we were doing some meetings and stuff in the morning there. Did you have a winner from the daytime diamond yesterday for me?
Let me check.
Okay, cool. I will bring up the results of the last 2 days because obviously with you on the randomizer, maybe we buried the lead. Actually, we started talking about seventh inning stretch and stuff. If you guys did not see Nez yesterday on the randomizer, great performance. I have to cut Nez a little bit of slack. Pete cut one of the videos short on you. I was going to give you the guys with the nicknames to guess. So like I wasn't it wasn't gonna be as hard as it was, and you still did fantastic with it. But
Yeah.
I was gonna give you one was a tight end, so you would have got spicy marks. I was gonna give you one is a lefty who mashes bombs. You would have got Kerry Bonds, like this sort of thing. So I think you would have got that one. So I was in the chat. I was like, give him that one, give him that one. But you did a really good job there yesterday. A lot of fun there, dude. The baby theme, the baby talking stuff was a highlight for me.
Good Lord. That was my nightmare.
It's good, man. It's good. Get embarrassed on stream. It's fun. We've been doing this long enough that it's entirely fine to get embarrassed from time to time on stream here. Nez, I wanted to bring this one up. Well, just because we always bring up the winners, but we missed Tuesday. Lots of friends and family at the top here. Our guy Steampunk Mario finding his way in the top here too. But this Seedmeister team, holy smokes. The absolute scroll the F down of all the scroll the F downs here. Caleb Durbin, Joey Ortiz, who we thought was going to be a lefty killer and be a pretty good like 15-15 or maybe a 20-10 candidate at shortstop this year, and it hasn't come to fruition. Finally starts putting some ABs together. And Isaac Collins, so bottom of the Brewers order, mixed with Dodgers chalk. We talked about it, or I talked about it on the paywall show, that if you're going to play the Dodgers chalk, you got to get contrarian around it. Well, even I couldn't even dream up this contrarian. So shout out to the Seedmeister for this one.
Dude, this is why the games are so hard. Like, I'm never doing that. I'm never in my life doing that. And it's not just because it's against my Pirates. Like, I'm never getting to this team. These games are just full of the absolute sharpest dudes that just, it's just crazy, man, how difficult these last couple of weeks have been. Shout out Seedmeister, though. He's a great player.
Yeah, very, very, very talented. Well done there. Jay Baconator was up here. JT McKenzie, Son of Kong's always hanging out. Steampunk Mario, as I mentioned. Goat Nap. Chris, JC Sala's everywhere, every night there. Yeah, some good teams in that one. And then yesterday's stuff. Were you able to find the Daytime Diamond winner for me?
Yeah, it's Turbotron.
Oh, that's our guy, man. Probably hanging out in the chat right now. Say what up, Turbotron. I'm sorry I missed that one. Why did you not tag me on the X machine in that thing so I could spread you some love? That's awesome, dude. Congrats to Turbotron. He actually made a tongue-in-cheek joke in the chat the other day, or I don't know if it was in the chat or the Discord, that we can't listen to his takes anymore because he hasn't been winning. Well, there you go, man. He trusts the process, and it gets home there. And then the walk-off Wednesday from last night, a heart-wrenching one for, I believe it was Jay Baconator as well. Again, back-to-back nights where he was kind of at the top. And then some late slate flippening when the Dodgers came out of the rain delay there. Joe Ryan, who we were scared of some potential weather there in that start, and again, some potential weather again today for the daytime diamond in that one there. But Max Muncy comes out, hits a grand slam, and really flipped the slate on its head, because before that, you needed the 2 home runs from Soto, and then you needed some Cubs stuff. And I was really happy to see the Cubs stuff because I was heavy on the Cubs yesterday, and I'm heavy on the Cubs again today, if I'm being honest. But yeah, beautifully constructed team here from we're going Aiden Cochran.
Cochran.
I just didn't want to say
it. Gotta be a man. It's all good. Just say it. It's okay.
Yeah, man, nice team here. Anything to add on yesterday's slate?
No, I didn't play a whole lot of yesterday, but or maybe I did. I did actually play a lot of yesterday. I forgot. Yeah, I got in 50 and cashed 3 lineups. So, nope, nothing to say.
Yeah, that wasn't yesterday. Yesterday was not the slate. There. JC Sala, Chris, Baconator up here again. Nice to see Awin back in the streets there, knocking a couple chalk lineups up here at the top here, playing his Yankees 4-mans with a one-off from Dodgers and stuff like this. So, yeah, I love to see the community doing well still. All right, Nez, I guess we could talk Daytime Diamond for 2 seconds as we hop in an NFL draft. Daytime Diamond for today. Who were the plays, man? Who'd you like?
I didn't really do a deep dive today for the Daytime Diamond. I got one lineup in, and I accidentally took Schwarber and Hunter Brown on the same team. But I think my overwhelming exposure, if I'd done a lot, would have been concentrated around the Twins for sure.
Ooh, interesting. Very nice. Okay. I full faded that game. I did not draft a single Mariner or a single Twin. I didn't think it was going to play. I still don't think it's going to play.
I mean, I didn't even check the weather.
Yeah, so I don't think that one's gonna go today. So they had some pretty high ADPs, and I just like full faded it. And then I looked at the schedule for tomorrow. It's getaway day. The nice thing in the Twins' defense is that they have all day to get it in because it was the first game to start the slate, and they can go all whatever. But both teams are leaving and traveling, and one's going to Texas and one's going to Detroit. So like they're not even going to get like some time zone relief for like extra extended travel. So I was just like, man, they're going to call this one, midday kind of thing.
Good shout. Yeah, I did not look at the weather. Yeah, one lineup. It's okay.
I'm going to take a look at one of these games in a second here. There's 2 games going on right now. The next 2 are about to go into first pitch, but 3-0 on the Blue Jay side and 3-0 on the Tigers side. Like to see that on the Tigers side because I played a lot of Tigers today. Right-handed Tigers were a spot that I was a little bit thirsty over. Okay, we'll check back in a bit there. Nez, we got 3 new contests. We've showed them a couple times now in the chat: the Poodle, the Corgi, and the Pitbull. I will hear you out on anything you'd be interested to draft today. My heart right now, and you know what? Maybe I'll keep it close to my vest, and maybe you just make the call, my friend.
Well, geez, I mean, I'm trying to think what makes. I think a Poodle would probably be the most community friendly.
All right, let's Poodle it up. Let's get in here. 20-second clocks are back. Was there anything? 7 spots here in the Poodle alongside us. Is there anything that was super noteworthy? I know we looked at the structure previously. Yeah, this one's kind of like a little bit more traditional BBME, but like the advance rates are really nice here. 1 out of 6, 1 out of 5, instead of having like that massive outlier of a 1 out of 10 power of being a smaller contest, but then still a nice size 310 final there. So that's fun.
Yeah, this is like a big time week 17 contest.
Yeah.
Just because like you don't need to put as much emphasis on getting to the finals because it's softer to get there. And like when you get there, it's really like who cares at that point, right? So definitely a big time stack week 17 contest for sure. 310 is not a small field.
Yeah, no doubt. Make sure I have my playoff grid widget, the playoff matchups widget set. Okay, we're good. Got it. Because if it's week 17 contest, I want to make sure we got that forward facing for us.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
Cool. We roll the 101 here because why wouldn't we, Nez? I mean, if you're just going to try and roll an isolated draft slot, I'd probably go with the 1-1 if I were you guys. Shilly's in here. Troy's in here. Respook's in here with us. Sir Bag Chaser, haven't seen him in a minute, is in here with us. I think everybody's kind of lockstep. Jamar Chase 101, Nez.
Yep. Yeah. I think in the Poodle, if you were like feeling ballsy, sure, you could do something different, but not me. I'm gonna take all the chase that I can get. That's the one thing that is constant. Everything else I think is pretty fluid this year. Like literally like 2 through 220 or whatever the fuck is the last pick can be argued any which way in my opinion.
But Jamar has to stay Jamar.
Has to. Absolutely has to.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think back seasons in which we've had 101 debates versus not having 101 debates.
Yeah, I don't remember. I try to wipe that stuff out of my. There's only so much room in this stupid brain of mine. I try not to remember these debates.
Sure, yeah, no, but we could go down memory lane for a half second and be like, because there was a JT versus CMC year. Last year, people were kind of all over the place. Some people Jefferson, some people, CMC. And then we got the later in the tail end of the draft window, CMC FUD a little bit and started to fall. So that was a fluid year. I'm trying to think of like the last time there was like a 101 that was like 1.1 every damn draft. I can't think of one that was like this solidified.
It's probably CMC a few years ago, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, prior to the verse JT debate year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that checks out. At 101, the people are telling me the 101 actually sucks this year. You got to be on the other side of the board. The people
who said that?
I don't know. The people are saying, dude.
They are?
Haywood just learned what a quality start is. Morning, though. That's good shit.
Who does that surprise?
Oh, that's good, clean fun. Oh, this is my bad, dude. Evan tagged us again. He took down the triple play for the second time.
High roller.
He just got his goat horns about a week ago, and then takes it down again inside of 5 days. He takes it down twice. Very well done. And one of them was a Coors chalk night with no pieces of Coors in it. Complete deviation. So loved to see that.
Good for Evan, man. The triple play should, you should feel proud of that.
Triple play and the buzzer beater, man. The two hardest contests on the site. Everybody's been saying for years.
They do say this. That's something they do say. That's a real thing people say.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take a peek at the baseball in a half second here. See who is performing. Spencer Torkelson for the home run so far. All right.
Yeah, it's sort of an interesting day. I don't remember Thursday ever being this quiet for baseball before.
Yeah, the evening.
This season, at least.
Yeah, this season, yeah. Rashi Rice's new price tag in the 22s there, Nez. Getting some love for the Jacobs stuff. Could do some Arizona week 17 stuff. What do you like?
I tend to take Jacobs here more often than not.
Okay.
Trey McBride week 17 is pretty fun too.
Yeah, not scared of the chalkiness angle of it in a contest like this.
If you're
Um,
scared, take Marv. So get a little leverage.
I don't like Marvez in general. I'm down to take Trey. Let's do it.
I don't
Let's
take a
start
lot of
like this.
Marv, but
Nah, me neither, man. They just didn't use him in any creative capacity last year. They left him on an island to just die by himself, throw a bunch of go routes that went nowhere. I don't know, man. They're gonna need like a big shift this year.
yeah, I think it's gonna like, are they gonna look in the mirror and be like, all right, we fucked up. We did not use this guy correctly at all. Are
Yeah.
is the coaching staff good enough there to make that adjustment? Or are they just going to try the same thing over and over again, which is what they did last year?
Mhm.
It's definitely worrisome. Like, I don't feel good about taking Marv ever, but
No, me either. Which is
I think it makes sense with a chase team at least.
it's crazy to just juxtapose last year at like that 112. Like I know Blake's like being kind of facetious in the chat here about like the 101 being bad, but you do hear a lot of people talking about loving the right hand side of the board right now. You know, you get two of those wide receivers and then you wrap it around and you compare that to like last year, right? Where it was like Marv was there at like right at that 1-2 or that 112, 113 or 2-1 pick, whatever on the corner. And then it was like Waddle and London and that. And that now this year, it's like, oh man, these are such cozy, comfy clicks at the end. Like getting Nico Collins at 10, it's like he should probably be a little bit closer to the Bijan CD Lamb territory than back there. But there's just only so far that you can go on a board. The depth of talent feels good, right?
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Like, I mean, I want the 101, but I don't really have like the worst spot on the board. I think would be probably like picks like 7 and 8. I just don't really like those picks. Because then you're like, man, like, do I take CMC or not? Like, I think that's a fair question to ask. I've been taking I take a lot of CMC right now in the Superflex, so we'll see what I end up with. That might just be like, okay, cool. I got my CMC. I can do other things in BBM,
Sure.
but yeah, that is like that's kind of a tough. That feels tough. Ultimately, for me, I'm just gonna end up taking a shit ton of Nico.
Yeah. I'm warming up to that notion too, especially when we were looking at that pick'em stuff the other day. Like, I get it that like, they're mean projections, and I thought Davis said something very smart on his stream today about the pick'em stuff. Is like he views them as markets to be beat, not markets to build off of. And I thought that was like, oh yeah, that's really sharp to like frame it that way. But they are still mean projections, and there is something to be said about the fact that like Nico is wide receiver 3 in terms of total yardage in the pick'em lobbies right now, or in total receiving yardage in the pick'em lobbies right now.
Yeah, I think that it should if that stuff was like eye opening to you and makes you like cautious, I think you need to like consider your risk tolerance
Sure.
because like if you're like, wow, I was taking a lot of Judkins and like and like you really had no idea that his like mean outcome was like not good,
Sure. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
man, I don't know. I think you should like consider the game you're playing and what range of outcomes you're acceptable having.
Mhm.
Um I don't. I think that for somebody like me, I think it's valuable. I think there is. I think we hate too much the floor players.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's contest
but they are
specific, right?
beatable. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, like the eliminator ass pick is like not just a bit, right? Like
Hmm.
there's some truth to it, right? Or like the archetype of team in which you build to win BBM versus what might win this 55K. I got to cut myself off. We got 20 seconds. Devonta Smith is at the top here. I know you like George Pickens.
I do.
Um, we could do Hertz and Devonta, or we could do Pickens.
Let's do Hurts and Devonta
Okay.
because I doubt we get Burrow here, and this is fun.
Yeah, I doubt we get Burrow with this Wayne guy in front of us setting up the stack too. Like he's got this week 17 thing going on with T and Marv. So like you're never gonna get Burrow past this guy at 71 if you want it.
Mm-mm. No,
Yeah.
that is like a fair. So I guess like to give some credence to like the 101 sucks bit, it does suck that like, you can either take Burrow like 20 picks ahead of like where a team in the final is ultimately going to have him, or you just like take Jamar Chase naked. Like that's a pretty annoying, truth. That's a truth
Yeah.
nuke for sure. That like, hey,
Yeah.
if you have a Jamar Chase team in the BBM finals, there's going to be other Jamar Chase teams that have that, and that's a lot of draft capital, So
Yeah. That's a yeah, just a good overarching point that I can't add any benefit
no,
to.
yeah. I don't really have like a quite like a follow up to you or anything there, so I apologize. But like it is, that is a true annoyance. That is a real thing in the 101 sucks bit.
Let's get a little gal brainy on it right now, dude, because this is something that Davis was doing as a bit of a bit when I tuned in for half an hour there this morning. That he's standing on business right now. He's going back. No more of this 8.3%. He's going back to his roots. He's going back to his uncoincidentally you wearing a Chiefs shirt today. He's going back to his roots of just finding his best plays and hammering them down. No more. We're all gonna lose anyways. Shtick. So I'm here for it. I'm thinking of guys that I could do it with or that I want to do it with. I've used the example once in a time box contest this year that I just tried to take Christian McCaffrey in all 20 of them. What was that? That was the Schnauzer 2
Mhm.
time box contest, like something like that. If we got to get, it's August 1 and you've saved, 80 BBM bullets here, Nez. Like, are you going back to the well this year on the Bijan stuff? Like, what would you try and just be like, all right, fuck it all. I'm taking this guy in the first, second, or third round over and over and over again.
I think I would do that with uh I'm like kind of I'm thinking about two guys here. Derrick
Yeah.
Henry
Okay.
and Devon Achane.
Okay.
Like I think both of those guys would be very fun in a time box contest to be like I'm getting those guys at 100% and getting somewhat unique with those guys. And not that the uniqueness really counts for shit, but like that's just like a an added benefit, if you will. But like I think both of those guys can absolutely destroy this season.
Dude.
Like I think Achane with a Dolphins bounce back, if the
Yeah.
Dolphins are better than last year, like Achane could be a monster.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I've found myself clicking the HN plus CMC combo like quite a bit and just being comfortable with like the pockets wide receiver I fall back to. I think it's really interesting. I'm kind of like accidentally in love with this notion of managing my portfolio mentally. And I don't know if this is optimal. Like I think if you planned it out and spaced it out, you would play differently over the course of an entire summer, knowing all the contests, this sort of thing. But I'm kind of in love with the notion of being like, I'm underweight X guy in X contests, but I really like him. I'm jamming him for 10 entries in this time box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing because it's a inherent hedge. Um, but yeah,
No, I think that's like, yeah, I guess like the question would be like, what's the difference between doing that 10 times versus doing it just like deciding to do it 10 times in a BBM? I guess would like is would be my retort if and I don't even know if I truly believe that.
yeah,
I don't know.
I
I like doing that. I've done that last year. I think I talked about doing that last year with like I think either CD or somebody last year. I talked about doing that in the puppy or something, but I can't remember what it was.
yeah, I believe it was the puppy last year with Estime in the last round, but not an early guy. Okay, let's do this. Are we Caleb Johnson pilled now?
Man, a little bit.
Okay, let's do it. And then let's take Jacoby. You like Jacoby?
Yeah, I like Jacoby.
Who do you
I'd say
prefer?
Jacoby or Ricky, but I like Jacoby, man.
Okay. Yeah, Jacoby, Ricky Pearsall's stuff was a little eye opening. It has like one of the lower scores in terms of value add to our team right now. 10 out of 10 for Jacoby. Let's go with that.
Okay. I don't know. We don't have any. Neither of those guys are correlated, but I think if you use like if you're trying to predict ADP movement, I think Ricky has a chance to leapfrog Jacoby if that Ayuk pup news hits at any point.
Yeah, that's a good shout there. Yeah, that's definitely, if you're CLV hunting, probably better suited for a different contest than this time box one. I guess Jaden Reed would have given us the combination with the Josh Jacobs. Shakir gives us 17 off of the Eagle stack. Did you see that tweet yesterday from Herzig asking people to sell him on the Shakir thing? And then I was just like phone shitter bro lying in bed and just wrote like with my finger on each of them. People take that shit so seriously. Like, whoa, buddy, like this guy's washed. This guy's dead. I'm like, yo. Man,
I mean, you straight up put washed beside a guy's name and expect people not to like retaliate. You know, like
it's like nobody's familiar with my game or something.
Jesus, man. I love how you like. You're so funny, bro. You will like antagonize. Like you know this. You know the space. You antagonize a player. People are staking like money that they're not used to staking on.
True.
And like act surprised when people like come at you for like you're hilarious.
Maybe it's because of okay. Maybe I just anticipate people cutting me more slack because of like who I am, but maybe people don't recognize because like, I'm always
you play both
joking around and having fun.
Yeah,
true.
Like
I do
it's
play
definitely
both
people
sides.
unfamiliar with the game, but you're like, here's some like hot takes, but like I don't actually believe them, but here are the takes anyways. And then so like you can't be criticized. Like, I called somebody washed, but like I don't actually believe it. So like I'm immune. You can't say anything to me.
I literally I put a question mark, man. I put a question mark. Oh, I love fucking around.
Absolutely not. You put yourself out there.
Oh man. Yeah, no, Chris, these ones are staying behind the vault right now, but I'm not an Evander guy. I've known him for a long time.
Oh boy, John had a chance to say he knows the famous guy.
No, I talked about it in the Discord yesterday that I just did not like the trade yesterday for the Canucks. I don't know. You got locker room problems and it drives the team apart the year before. You don't bring in the guy who's been misbehaved for years and had locker room problems. You don't bring him home to a community that isn't even overly receptive of him, despite his roots being here. And yeah.
Well, I don't think you're the only person, personal or not, connection or not, that has a problem with Evander Kane. So
right, exactly. And like the fragile state of the Canucks organization right now is just kind of like, they're talking sale, they're talking splitting of the families, they're talking all this kind of background knowledge where it's just like, man, you literally could have capitalized. So I don't know if you know this, Nez, but the Canucks farm team won the Calder Cup, the AHL, and
nice.
So you have this opportunity, this marketable opportunity to capitalize on. Here's the future. They're coming. They just won something that, Canucks haven't won a cup in 60 years ever. Like, like, hey, look at these young guys who just capitalized on this opportunity. And whether the market believes it or not, those are two separate things. But like, you have this opportunity and then you just piss down your leg by trading for Evander 24 hours later. It's like, okay.
Yeah. No, that's a strange move.
We did get sniped on the Kyler one there. Shaheed is popping. Coleman gives us some week 17. I know you like Coleman.
I like Coleman. I do. I think Coleman is an underrated best ball pick.
Okay, cool. Let's do the Coleman one. I don't think we want to do Warren because we have Johnson. I'd be fine with Jordan Mason. We haven't done a ton of Jordan Mason.
Yeah, let's take Jordan Mason, man. I'm still like, I like him here. I take Jordan Mason. I'll probably have like 10% if I had to guess.
Okay.
I just like, I think I'm a little skeptical on the standalone role of Jordan Mason, but we were searching for that. Yeah, I think it's a price thing for me too. I got a little bit of sticker shock. I was wishing that we could get a little bit more of a discount on Jordan Mason for being like a clear cut RB2. I mean, he does not go very far after Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Dude, Aaron Jones HR meme. I don't know who posted it. Or else I'd give credit to it. I saw it the other day.
Probably Ian Harditz. He's a big fan of that meme.
Yeah,
Him
he's
or
good
the
at
official UD account.
Yeah, and it was HR meme, Aaron Jones and Bucky Irving, basically exact same season last year. Now there's a lot of factors to that.
That makes sense because I take a good bit of Aaron Jones and I don't take a lot of Bucky Irving.
Yeah,
which
likewise
could suck.
Mm-hmm.
Could suck.
Yeah, I think UD posted that. There you go. You see the UD post this morning? Playing all the GD hits there for me.
Yeah, I quote tweeted them. I called them out. Or maybe we're talking about different ones.
I think we might be talking about different ones. There was this.
The TJ McConnell one. I voted for my queen Sophie.
Yeah, so Sophie, who I was lobbying for All-Star Game votes for, Cal Raleigh, big dumper, my guy, and then TJ McConnell throwing shade that he only had 3 16-plus point games in the regular season there. Come on, man. Like, when TJ gets the rock, TJ doesn't score. He does a lot of other things,
It had to be Sophie for me, though.
Yeah.
Sophie's taking the W. All right, so remind me to tell you about what I had to call out our good friends at UD Drafts for. But I'm not saying there's a conspiracy, but like my wife is starting to get WNBA content on her feed because of the drama of the games that are happening.
Got it.
Now I'm not saying it's manufactured, but either
it's working.
Either they're getting nudged to do something, or the girls themselves love it. But like Sophie, I think increased her net worth, or at least her possible. She at least increased the value of her brand based on those actions. Like, Bria should not know, bless her heart, who Sophie Cunningham is. Like, she doesn't
sure.
She's not that deep in sports. She's like, did you see what Sophie Cunningham did? I'm like, what did you just say to me? Like,
yeah.
First, I got a little scared because I'm like, I've seen other things about Sophie. Like, who is that? Like,
completely unaware. Whoa, yeah, okay. I saw that outfit she wore to the game the other day. No, Nez, I'm talking about the actions on the court.
Yeah, so she gets TikToks about her actions and stuff and how she's defending Caitlin Clark and stuff. It's so funny.
I mean, it's kind of like the Angel Reese tying her brand to Caitlin Clark rivalry narrative. Like people said that she exponentially sold herself as that tier of player and like one next level above marketing wise because of that stuff and the point at the ring stuff and like all that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely, gets attention on you, and attention is a good thing if you're trying to make money.
Yeah. Okay. Dak goes there. Kirk, I don't mind. And we got some 16 correlation. We could finish at tight end. I don't love the Jonnu pick, though.
Me neither. Let's take Kirk.
Okay. Let's do Kirk. And then let's take a swing at one of these running backs, dude. What do you think?
You think so? Sort by RB.
Ramondre, Tootin.
I think I'd go Tootin here.
Yeah, just take a swing on another rookie here.
Yeah. I think with that start that we have, we can afford to take that swing.
Yeah, our running back room is looking a little mid right now by our standards.
Yeah,
but pretty balanced build thus far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like we got Hurts, we got McBride, pretty good capital at wide receiver. Yeah, I think we're very balanced right now. Pretty sure I forget who said it or where this is even published or not, but I'm pretty sure like 1-3 or like a 1-3-5-1, which is like essentially what we started with because we were at the turn, is like an ideal first half start.
Yeah. Seems good to
Baseball
me.
guy told me that, I think.
Yeah.
He saw it somewhere. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think I like don't even think about it, but I do end up doing that quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our draft capital buckets right now, like we're pretty much smashing everything, but it doesn't feel like we are. You know what I mean with this running back room, but it checks out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Josh Jacobs pick is holding it down for the draft capital bucket for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely a 6 running back team when I look at this, and then I see both those guys with 5s as the buys. But where does your mind go?
Yeah, this is almost definitely like 2-6-8-2.
Yeah, this is more traditional style. I think tight end like in that pocket and shut it down would have been fine, but I also think there's like another pocket of tight end coming that when you spend a second round pick on Trey McBride, that you then can just get away with like Goddard as the double stack, or you can get away with like if taking Jonnu there to me, I guess it's like a good like value in terms of projection and ADP and ranking, but like I think this team's better with Goddard and you take Tootin there.
Yeah, that's one thing that that I I think disagree with the most with some of these tools that we use is the love for like that second tight end when you have an elite. Like I usually manually intervene and dock tight end when I start off with McBride or Bowers because they do try to get you to scoop the value because it is good draft capital value. Like that's objectively true based on ADP. Like that's a good draft capital value, but like made a really, really, really strong bet with McBride. So I want to take that bet to the bank. And I also feel confident in my ability to take a late tight end and get a good one as well, which I know you do too. So that's like where I'm at with that. But I understand why it's saying, hey, take this player. But
well said, dude. Yeah, I agree with you there in a big way. This is kind of that sweet spot of like the onesies, though. We keep talking about it, that 9 through 12. Like, look at all the purple and blue that goes off the board comparative to yellow, right? Like, it's just.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny, man. Everybody has the same idea. And I think like the question is like, how go ahead.
Well, I was just about to say that like I saw a Hayden tweet and a Sam Sherman tweet about this, and it's like, how does a real life top 10 NFL draft pick with tight end eligibility on a good offense getting jumped over by wide receiver 4s who might not even have jobs or like whatever like this. And it's not that cut and dry. It's like
not at all.
The market has set itself this way that you have to play within the confines of the market where you like get caught with your pants down if we don't make that Christian Kirk pick. Right? Like, we get hung out to dry.
Yeah, I kind of, no offense, I really struggle to see what their point is with that. Like,
sure.
This is what ADP is, like why would I do anything different?
Dude, this is a perfect turn for us, man. The plan came together in a big way. You could shut it down with a second quarterback here, and then Goddard comes all the way back. You make that stack. These are slam picks, right?
I think is Stroud a slam?
I like it, but if you want to go a different direction,
all right.
I've seen
I think I'd go Garendo, but
let's do it. Let's do the CJ.
Okay.
I like it, man.
Okay.
I've seen this movie before where you're like on the ends and all that purple goes off the board, and now all of a sudden our Jalen Hurts team has to become 3 quarterback because we don't trust what else comes back to us, or we don't have like a super viable stack partner. Let's look at this roster. I mean, Geno coming back would probably be best case scenario. And maybe we could have done like Garendo and Geno. So the 2v2 becomes, or I guess the 3v3 becomes Goddard, CJ, and insert running back at pick 14, or Goddard, Garendo, and then Geno. But then you also got to get Geno past the best drafter and past the Bowers drafter.
Yeah. I think at any rate, man, just look at running back real quick. Like Garendo and Algier, I think are like one of the largest tier breaks that exists in the draft. After those guys go, I
Sure.
mean
Yeah.
Eckler is definitely like a fine pick. Now you get into really bad running back territory. After Eckler go, like all these running backs suck.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that's a nice spot to like, okay, let's get the last of a tier
Hmm.
and we feel better. But we can still make picks that are fine. That's just that to me that's just a very glaring tier.
Yeah. I think that tier will fix itself over the course of the summer, though, in a big way. You know,
How so?
just camp battles, injuries, guys shining in preseason games, like that sort of thing, where we're going to get way more palatable picks in this range than they currently are. Like guys will come closer to the Garendo tier as the summer goes on. Right now, we're enamored with Garendo because it's like, okay, he's clear RB2. We think he's over the injury, and we saw it last year. You know, if we
Mm-hmm.
see like, one preseason game of DJ Giddens doing his best Amir Abdullah impression in the preseason, well, he's now all of a sudden just going to be in that tier. Or if we know that, oh, Miles Sanders, the starter, now he's in that tier, right? Like, it's like the things we build up in our mind right now aren't based in fact. They're like still fluid, right?
Yep. Yeah. I think I like to your point. Yeah, I think Giddens is going to rise as the summer goes on for sure. Like very clear and obvious. Same with Jarquez Hunter. Like
Yeah, it's
he's
just
for
it's
sure
kind of
going to rise.
it's insert player name at that point. But like, I think the way we define tiers, like for like today, like if this slate started today, right? It's objectively like Isaac Ren is a way better pick. But like this slate doesn't start for another maybe 6 months for either of them to start playing value, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
no, that's fair.
we're done at the onesies here, Nez. So I think we can go ahead and just dock these guys in a big way.
Yeah.
Okay. Just take those lines through. Bigsby, Noel for the double stack, a guy we haven't taken a lot. We could do like Bigsby and Allen. Who do you like?
I do like Pat Bryant, but let's do Noel for the double.
Okay. Yeah, I think in the context of this roster, I prefer Noel over Bryant. I think in a vacuum, I probably prefer Bryant. They like Michael Wilson. They also like Will Shipley for the stack. Who do you like?
Yeah, I think I would still probably go Bryant here.
Okay. Player
Decent
takes
value.
on.
I mean, okay value there, like closer to 170, which is nice. Yeah, I don't think that he will fluctuate much in ADP. Like, I don't think he's going to go down.
Okay.
But we'll see.
I'm more down in a vacuum on Denver's offense than most people are right now. And I think it's because I think the defense will be good. And I think I've seen this movie before with a Sean Payton team where it's like, okay, now they look like they can run the ball efficiently and play like a little bit of pace and tempo, but like they're not going to be a shootout back and forth kind of team. They're just going to be like a good 11 win football team or a good 10 win football team, like on paper, where I'm like, yeah, I just haven't really been like enamored with like chasing the Pat Bryant ceiling right now. But I understand people think he's good, right? So I got to do more of a deep dive on that.
Yeah, I think he's good. Troy Franklin didn't show much last year. Devon Vele's 37 years old.
Nice.
Marvin Mims like had some pretty cool weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe he becomes a mainstay.
Sorry to cut you off there on the Mims one. Harmon, Hayden, and Josh kind of dunked all over Mims with the reception perception chart and episode most recently. Just like all the shit is out of the backfield. It's all behind the line of scrimmage. It's all low A dot. He's not the field stretcher that we ever thought he was. Like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we definitely, I think, kind of talked about that last year too while it was happening.
Yep.
Yeah, Pat Bryant is a legitimate wide receiver. That I'm just surprised. Like I'm just like I think he's good, and like I want to take shots on him. Like you know what I mean? Like he's somebody that it's Pat Bryant's rookie year. I want to have Pat Bryant. Like I just wish I didn't have to pay so much for him.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is like 2% draft capital. Like it's really not that big of a deal. But my point remains. It's like, man, like okay, like I like Pat Bryant. I'm all right. I'm gonna have to buck up and pay this price. Especially because, like I said, I don't think it's going anywhere. But
yeah,
time will tell.
Yeah, especially if he makes a couple plays in preseason or something like that. I'm looking at the depth on their roster because we know Sean Payton's been a guy that like he's used the dusty wide receivers that are veterans before. Like he's used the Lil Jordan Humphreys. He's played these guys for like 70+% snaps to start seasons before. So I'm like, oh, what other guys do they have on the roster? This year it's Trent Sherfield, former 49er, and former Saint A.T. Perry. So I don't know if they have some. I think A.T. Perry was after Sean Payton's Saints era. He's only like third year in the league or fourth year in the league, something like that, I believe. So maybe there's no connection there. 25, drafted by the Saints in 2023. That doesn't feel like it would have overlapped with Sean Payton's timeline. So maybe there's no concern of these kind of like quote unquote dusty vets rolling back through.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not fearful of them.
Okay, let's make these two picks here. Wow, Michael Wilson, who they were pounding the table for last time around, almost makes it back to us. DJ Giddens kind of standing out to me. We can just go to here because we're done at the onesies. Michael Wilson goes to Wayne, who's building out that same stack for the double stack.
I like Giddens.
Yeah, you like Giddens over Hill? Like he feels like more of like the ceiling shot. We get some week 17 too.
Yeah. I don't think we need a player like Justice Hill on this team.
Okay. The solver thinks we need Justice Hill on this team. What about Samson? Do we like Samson?
Yeah, I would take Samson.
Or Keaton Mitchell?
Either one's fine.
Okay, let's do Samson. We're Samson guys now after seeing that Judkins pick'em stuff.
Yeah, I think it's fair to make that part of our brand.
Samson, we get 16 and 17 correlation. We got 4 rookies on here. This might be the youngest team we've ever drafted together.
with the Jacob chaperone. A lot of rookies on this team.
Dude, we saw that R badge and it just like lit up our hearts. We're like, yo, let's just keep clicking that R badge, baby.
I love an icon.
Dude, me too. I'm addicted to leaving these badges enabled when I use the solver. I'm addicted to it. It actually looks hella tight when you I know you guys can't see this because I'm in the window mode, but when you take the colored cells off and then you use just the black overlay, look at how tight the badges look.
Which badges am I looking at?
They make them pop because you take the color code off for the score and then the color code just stays on the right-hand side and then the badges pop with the black background.
They do stick out more. That's interesting. I never actually toggled that. I just kind of kept it with the color code.
Buddy, I got fancy play syndrome out here. All I'm doing is fucking around. Nez, I wanted to hit on one thing. I want to hit on one thing here with a big pat on the back for us here. Philly takes 2 quarterbacks in that round. Chili Dogs takes 2 quarterbacks in that round. The Geno stack doesn't get by the Bowers drafter. No, the Genty drafter in this one. So when we did do we take CJ or not, this team would have looked way worse if we had passed on CJ here. Don't get anyone back. And then that's that quarterback window here where they kind of like all go. And then there's just 2 that go here in Rogers and Darnold, which we don't have stacking partners for. We have Caleb Johnson, but that's not a real stack. And then we would have been left like, what do we do in the last round? So it turns your Hurts build into a 3 QB build. So shout out to us for figuring that out on the fly.
I will say I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world to have like a bad QB2 with Hurts, but
Sure. Yeah.
I definitely hear what you're saying there.
Yeah, I'm team a little more balanced than that, I guess. Speaking of balance, the Rain City Bastard. Look at this. Actually, shout out to the Rain City Brigade. Used to be a supporters group of the Whitecaps there when I had season tickets that were right beside us. They did some funky shit, like taking their shirts off and taking their shoes off for the Caps when they scored and stuff. I jumped in on that every game, obviously. It was so fun. But the Rain City Bastard right here, bang. Don't show Pete. 4 tight end curious. Bangs them all out from 15 to 18. That's a fuck around, find out build, and I'm here for it.
If that's how you're going to do it, that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah. Nez, we got 2 spots until our final pick here. I think we're both in agreement 2682 on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, are they going to force us to take Keenan Allen again on stream? Like, I'm starting to get a little woozy with all this Keenan Allen I'm taking.
80 Mitchell goes there. Shilly takes Troy Franklin in here. We were talking about that one. And Vele goes in this draft. Turpin goes. I mean, Keenan Allen with the last pick of the draft is kind of a spot I feel fine about.
Yeah, I just like, you know what I feel like?
What?
I feel like Christian Bale playing Michael Burry in The Big Short, and I'm just like I see it.
Uh-huh.
It's Keenan Allen, ADP 110.
Yeah,
we're getting him in the 18th round. And then I'm writing the Scion value of like all the people that are like riding with my touting. And I'm just like, and it's just like negative. Like we keep losing CLV. We keep losing CLV. And they're like, Nez, we need our money back. And I'm like, dude,
Nez,
you're not getting your money back. Like we're riding with Keenan Allen. Like this is the bet we made. And everybody's trying to find the guy who did this.
Nez took a C bond over here of Keenan Allen. He took a C minus bond over here of Bubba Chandler. And then he took an A plus bond of Jacob Wilson, and he bundled that shit all together. And someone just has to pull that Jacob Wilson out of there, and the whole Jenga tower comes crashing down.
Oh, we're all fucked. We're all fucked.
Oh man!
No, he's gonna sign. It's gonna be great. He's gonna sign. It's gonna be great.
Covers reminding us that CLV is CLV, but CLV is not realized until the end of the draft window here. So time will tell if CLV is actually CLV. GM, Musk, give me my money.
Great quote. Give me my money back.
Give me my money back.
I can't.
Elijah Moore, that's a fun click in the last round. We talked about that one in the Superflex segment a little bit there. Chili telling us that those 2 touchdowns are going to hit so hard in week 17. Troy Franklin to the house there. I mean, what's
close your eyes.
MVS 2.0 Troy Franklin narrative for week 17? That'd be nice.
Has he ever had an MVS week though? He has to show it first.
Seth's telling us to mix it up and take some Amari in here.
No.
I mean, no, you're out on Amari.
There's a difference. Keenan was not as washed.
Okay. Nez, I am going to do my classic 2 clicks of the button here. Now that we are done on this draft, we are going to instantly populate a report. Give me 1 second. Maybe I got to come out of here for a second. Not giving me the auto-populated report right now. Draft reports. See more. Interesting. All right, bad radio. we'll walk through that one in half a second, and then I will go get a draft report the old-fashioned way, and we can see. There we go. Yeah.
Is it another window?
No, it usually comes as a file. Settings, draft report. There we go. Manually populated. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So for those playing at home, when you guys are using the solver, if it doesn't auto-populate on the right-hand side, for whatever reason, I guess it was just like a momentary glitch, or most likely it's a human error because I fucked up. You come back to the draft, hit this generate report, but it doesn't turn it into a PNG file right away. It puts it back in the solver draft reports on the right-hand side of the screen, and then you still have to hit download. So there you go. Is that explained appropriately, Nez?
Yeah. I just always never had a problem with doing that. So.
Relax, buddy.
Like, does this need to be explained? Does no, surely everybody. They do a good job of making it pretty straightforward.
So, the solver bros are sitting at home right now. And they're like, "This fucking boomer. We sure about this guy?"
You're done.
Oh man. All right, Nez. Hey, as you alluded to, that first half build 1-3-4-1 there. We ended up with a 2-6-8-2. I got to give it a couple zooms, huh? How's that? Good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, cool. 11.2% at the quarterback position, 28 at the running back, 45 at the wide receiver, which is a tad lighter than usual, 14 at the tight end, nice and strong because of that Trey McGronk pick. We got a lot of capital invested in the Bengals, the Phillies there, or Phillies, and the Eagles. And the Eagles there. Nice to have some Arizona capital on the bring back there with the 12%. Obviously, that is by way of Trey McGronk. Yeah, we got some 15, 16, but this one being a primary 17 contest, as you alluded to, with that 3-10 final. It's nice to kind of get an onslaught stack of the Eagles, bring it back with Keon Coleman, get the rookie running backs going head to head in that one, and then do like the Chase versus McBride for like our big draft assets, and then get two other rookie running backs going against each other. Yeah, not bad, dude.
Yeah, kind of accidentally stacked up the entire playoffs, which is sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I think the badges got us there. Not necessarily accidentally. Jalen Hurts, CJ Stroud, Josh Jacobs, Caleb Johnson, where Caleb Johnson pilled now. Jordan Mason, who I think that's the first time we've selected him on stream, but kind of made sense there. And then a whole bunch of rookies, Tootin, Giddens, and Sampson. Chase holding down this wide receiver room. Devonta Smith with a little bit of fall to pair with Jalen Hurts. Jacoby Myers, Keon Coleman, whose projections in the Pick'em lobby really shocked me in particular, but shocked us yesterday or 2 days ago, rather. Double stack there for the Shroud stuff with Kirk and Noel. Pat Bryant, who we did a little bit of a deep dive on for 2 seconds there. Keenan Allen with this 22.3 ADP value points with the very last pick. Might turn into Leonard Fournette, might turn into ADP 110. Who knows? And then Trey McBride, Dallas Goedert, really strong tight end room. Nez, does this one suck or fuck? How are we feeling?
This one, I think this fucks, but you're not sure if you're gonna like call back, but it fucks.
The first date. I'm not so sure on her morals right now. Kind of situation.
Yeah, it's like, like yeah, it's the 101, but
yeah, I know what you mean. It's like we got this nice 101, we got this nice Hurt skinny stack, we got this nice CJ double stack. It all looks pretty on paper, but we're not that sure about it right now.
It has potential.
Yeah. Yes. ENBC. It's like over the shirt. The analogies are getting way too specific out here, guys. Analogies are getting away. We might have to revisit the meter. Okay, that was a fun one, dude. That was really good. I say we rip another one here. My heart earlier was yearning for the pit bull there. I haven't got one in the pit bull yet, but I will hear you out if you want to go a different route than that, Nez.
No, let's do a 20-second pit bull.
20-second pit bull. Let's do it. 10 max entries. My first bullet into the pit bull. Oh my God, you guys already filled it. That is both awesome and bittersweet here. Hopefully some of you guys got in before me and knew where I was going. Man, I don't know if we can double. I was going to say, can we on stream, can we multi-table a 20-second clock in the active tab with the solver so that we could get more community members in here? Let's check out and see if we got any in to begin with. Oh, man. We got Jim Rat in here. He's going to take DJ McConnell for sure. We got Chad Candles. I recognize Chad Candles. That's for sure. Best ballin'. Gustafson I've seen before. I think it'd be too much. I think it'd be too much.
Did it already overflow? Edgar's saying it already overflowed, so.
Oh, in the overflow. All right.
That's a shame.
It needs 11. What a good bluff. What a good bluff. In the overflow.
Needs 11.
Oh, man. All right. Julian says couple red flags on that one. David says looks great in the dark. Doesn't match the Tinder profile. Holy smokes. Oh, that's good. Good, clean fun. Good, clean fun.
Barely clean.
Barely clean. All right, Nez, let's do the damn thing here. I like, dude. I'm rolling with this. I might be a dark mode color badges only guy here. Instead,
yeah,
of
I'm kind of enjoying that.
Yeah, the bar across is like sweet, but when you see the best available running along the top, and you see the score, you know where to look. I think it's a good, quick resource if we were doing like 10 in the active tab and we were jamming hoops at lock. And you just see how bright the color is and going like that. When we're doing it kind of slower like this, I think I like the aesthetic of this.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I'm woke to this now.
All right, we roll the 112 in this one, so polarizing experiences for us here. I know the ETR crew really likes Amon-Ra St. Brown here, Nez. You talked about Derrick Henry earlier. What do you like here?
Henry. Let's take Henry, then let's talk about this.
Okay. We are going to take Derrick Henry with the first one. They're still pounding the table for the Amon-Ra one for us. No,
I don't think
obvious...
so. I don't want to do Amon-Ra.
Okay, what would you like to do?
BTJ, London, or Achan?
Let's fuck around and find out. Let's flip the
board.
All right,
let's do this. This is. I'm glad you did that.
Okay. Yeah, when you tempted me with a fun idea to shift things up there, yeah, I mean it's a pretty fluid dynamic on this side of the board as we were alluding to there. There's kind of like no bad picks in our mind, so mixing them up. The one thing I will say about double RB on the right hand side of the board is I love the RB pocket that we get right now in 4-5, and that kind of like boxes us out of it by spending so much early capital on it. But yeah. We'll see how the chips fall. If we get a running back heavy, room in the third here, that works to our advantage. If Kyron comes back and in the third and Joe Mixon comes back in the fifth, then we're kicking ourselves. Yeah.
I think you can afford a three running back start, though. I don't think that's like a terrible thing.
No, yeah. That's true. I just think you kind of don't know when that third running back is going to be a good value or not. So, like, you could box yourself out twice kind of deal.
Yeah. I think this is a fun start, dude. Like I said, I'm not. This will be the first year I think that I am above the field on Derrick Henry. So what could go wrong?
What could go wrong, baby? You know what? You know what? The best time to be in on an aging running back who's changed teams, who has like tons of wear and tear on him, is definitely his like last season after you've seen it 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm the king. I'm the king of buying the top. I do it all the time. Do it all the time.
The big dog, buy the top of the big dog right now.
I mean, to be fair, he just signed a 2-year extension, so you're gonna have 2 more. You're gonna have 2 more years of this after this. 2 more years.
You know
after
who else?
This.
You know who else signed a 2-year extension? Justice Hill.
Oh,
that's last year though. Tail end of last year, like week 15 of last year.
Yeah, I am forever, cautious, curious about, Hill versus Keaton Mitchell, mostly on the Keaton Mitchell end of things.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like being 4 tight end curious. Like, you just got to do it a couple times in the 18th round and see how it turns out.
Yeah, sure.
Why you don't want to mix in Keaton Mitchell?
I do every now and then.
Sure.
It just feels like he's like, is he going to beat out Justice Hill? Just had a really good season last year. Like, is he just going to overtake his job out of nowhere? No. So like his contingency and like we don't even know what the role is, even if that hits. Like it's a weird bet to me.
Yeah, it is a weird bet. You're right. You are 100% right that it is an odd one. The other thing about this side of the board here, Nez, is it does box you out of the elite tight or the elite quarterback too, in my opinion, when you spend at the running back here. But we will see. Kyron goes there, so this is kind of like best case scenario, I think. After you start with this, where now we just take 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
Who do you like? I like Evans, and you get the week 17 with HN.
Yep.
All
yeah,
right.
for sure. Take Evans.
I'll be interested to see if the solver. Wow. Okay, cool. So solver does like us doing the Lamar still. That's very interesting. Who do you prefer, Nez?
J-Mo.
J-Mo. All right. Let's flip the board again. Let's go all the way down for the J-Mo stuff. Bullish coach speak stuff coming out about him. His first kind of like regular, real off season of his career. Because didn't he have he had a suspension off season, and
last year he got suspended mid-season.
Oh, it was mid-season. Okay.
And I feel like that gets like overlooked when people look at his box score.
How so? Oh, like just look at the totality of last year's box score.
Yeah.
Like not his game by game. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, his doubters, I feel like, are not doing good faith arguments against him. 1,000 yards and he got suspended in the middle of the season.
That's good shot.
So this will be the second regular off season for him. Just clearly a freak athlete, dude. He showed what we've been waiting for like forever last year. He showed it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yep.
I don't think he's a Ben Johnson merchant. Like, he's the fastest dude on the field at all times. So I like JMO, especially for best ball. Yeah,
no, good shout there. It's a fun profile to be aping in on. Silva agrees with you. He was one of the guys he was way over on. GM to our guy JJ Eggers is still sitting there like fucking Steven Glansberg.
He needs 3 more.
Good, yeah, 3 more for the next Pitbull. Good cultural reference that I hope never dies. Like, there's just like some things that I never want to die with generations, and like our generation pushing forward on the next 2 generations. Nez, it's going to be our civic duty to make sure that Superbad doesn't die, that Dumb and Dumber and Happy Gilmore don't die. Mm-hmm. Like these kind of things from our childhood, like our On the Bus with the Team, with the boys movies get passed down here, because it'd be a damn shame. Yeah, I mean, dude, Superbad's like one of like the best movies ever. So good,
See,
dude.
a lot of people
We
are doing this like New York Times like ballot thing. I want to do that too. I want to rank my
oh
top 10 movies. And uh, I see a lot of people are putting Superbad on there, like the best movies after the year 2000. And like, I'm like, yeah, that's
ever
right.
best movies ever after the year 2000.
Well, it's not ever. It's best movies
Well,
after
like
the year
best
2000.
like no criteria is what I meant. Like no.
It's really just like your favorite, like I don't plan on putting like objectively good movies there. I'm gonna do my favorite movies,
Okay,
but
cool.
there's a lot to choose from.
Okay, I got to see this. I haven't seen this yet, so I got to check it out.
Yeah, it's just like an easy way, and then it gives you a cool graphic that all the cool kids are sharing.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
So you're not
I
one of
need
the
to sit
cool
down
kids.
and
I haven't
take.
seen it yet.
Got to follow some cinephiles.
Gotcha. Um. Oh no, Bosock saying he did his top 10 the other day. Okay. All right, people are doing it. Let's make it a thing. I like it.
Ian Hardis with the funny tweet today, but it just made me want to ask a question. Remember Zamir White?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, Nez. I agree with the solver here. I think with this room we've
Of course you
started,
do.
dude, I like Olave, but who do you like?
Jawan.
Okay. I'm down to do Juwan and Olave. I'm down to do Juwan and Godwin and see if Baker comes back for the old Baker dubs.
Let's take Olave. Let's take your boy.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of like if this is the path you need, what are the archetypes of wide receiver that we then need from like the Henry Achan start, right? And it's Chris Olave becoming who we thought he was the last 2 years, a second round pick. It's Ayuk breaking the wrong way and Jawan Jennings, being like steam job. It's JMO like not being Ben Johnson Merchant and actually being like 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns. And then it's Mike Evans still being Mike Evans, which is probably bad news for Chris Godwin. Whereas like Chris Godwin's a little bit more of like a flory play associated with this. And then the fact that we spent 2 on the running back early there, it's kind of hard to saddle yourself with the Jordan Addison suspension looming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true. I think for me, it's just like the systemic risk for Olave is just so high.
Yeah. Yeah.
I struggle with it.
He could take one hit and never play football again. He could have the worst quarterback play we have ever seen ever. Who knows? The range of outcomes of it is crazy.
For sure. But good wide receiver.
Yeah.
Definitely a good wide receiver.
I was thinking about yeah, like that. So man, just to circle back and close the book on that conversation of like the double running back there. Let's look at our start versus like Mort, because Mort started B Mort lock. Started kind of like more neutral and very 80 PE. Genty, Amon Ra, Kyron, Cat, Walker, Addison. Whose start do you like better?
Ours.
Okay. Is that because of the archetype of player, or is that because of the structure?
The player selections.
Yeah. So hypothetically speaking, if we took JMO here instead of Tet, would you still like ours better? And if we took Olave here instead of Addison, would you still like ours better?
I think maybe not. No,
Yeah.
I don't like Addison right now.
Yeah. So if we're going like player takes agnostic, structurally, it's just hard to justify these double running back from the right sides.
I still think it's fine.
Oh yeah, I think it could still play. Baker here for us, if we want to do like Baker Egbuka, if we want to do Hawk, if we want to do Redacted, I'm cool.
We can do Baker Egbuka. That's fun.
Do you like doing Baker Ibuka more than like just
It was
going
just what you
skinny
suggested.
stack?
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. What do you like here?
Mooney or Ibuka, I think.
All right, let's go Mooney.
Okay.
I haven't taken much Mooney at all. Let's do it.
Give me one quick second here. How many likes do we have on the video? Let's get some likes. Give me 1 second.
All right. Like, subscribe, notification, all that fun stuff. The Badge Bros hanging out 2 p.m. Eastern every damn day, with the exception of yesterday, because Nez was on the randomizer. So if you guys missed that one, the link is down here below in the featured on tab. Go for it. It was really funny. It was really good. I thought he did a really nice job there. Yeah, and then check out the solver, guys. There's a link in the bio below if you guys want to utilize the solver. The beautiful draft reports at the end there, the draft capital allotment here, the playoff matchups at one click of a button here. We can see that we got that nice little skinny stack with the Baker stuff to go alongside our Achan. Week 17, you bring in the Atlanta share there. You get some week 15 correlation for both Tampa spots there. So, yeah, helping us build nice, pretty teams and aesthetically pleasing at that. Big Z talking about in the chat here some California news associated with it. Honestly, I don't have a take on it, and I don't have an understanding, and I don't know what side of the pendulum Underdog will fall under. That's above my pay grade and understanding at this point in time. I literally only heard about it in like the 5 minutes that I tuned in to Lulls today, and it got brought up in the chat, and Pete and Brick and Cooper were talking about it. So I don't know. I'd have to do some research. That's all news to me. So I don't have a take or an understanding, but that would be super shitty if it does come to fruition. I mean, career arc wise, so similar to like poker. Like there's like a fine line here, and I think Levitan has like the best take going on this stuff. Like there's no one in the industry I agree more with like the gambling in parentheses stuff. Like I get sick of it all over the screens in sports. I get sick of it where like we were watching the NBA finals the other night. There's 30 people under the age of 40 sitting in this bar watching the game. We had a big group of like 15 of us, and everybody's, on their apps and whatever, and they're all making minus EV plays, and they have no idea what they're doing and whatever. So I do really feel for the future of like that side of things. So I get aspects of cutting back. I get aspects of like, you have to have 1-800-GAMBLER, and you have to have all these protocols and ID verification and all this sort of stuff. I get everything associated with that. It's a damn shame if things become illegal. I think things should be regulated and monitored, like much like alcohol is, and the way in which it's served and that sort of thing. But I really feel for those who try to make a livelihood or treat it as a game of skill, because it is a game of skill, and then get railroaded by something like this.
Agreed.
Nez, here we go, my friend. I would just pound the table for Mark Andrews and Travis Etienne right here, or Scatabo. Who do you like?
Let's take Andrews. I am like firmly anti Etienne, I think.
Okay.
I think Scatabo or Sharps here. I'm cool with Scatabo.
Yeah, let's mount up. It's been a minute since the Scout boys mounted up. I think we got to do it, man. We got two kind of like veteran, strong starting running backs that this team hinges upon, and then we get the rookie emergence that kind of shoots it over the moon here.
Yeah, Scatabo has a very fun range of outcomes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think through some other. Why so firmly out on Travis Etienne? Like just in general?
There's just a lot of competition there. And he wasn't good last year.
gonna fight you on that. He
Mhm.
sucked.
Yeah.
He had the one good primetime Palooza slate. I believe it was the London game where he looked nice with it for like half of a half. And outside of that, yeah, I mean, I can't remember who shared it this morning. Fuck, I always forget when I'm scrolling the doom scroll the timeline. Just get my fix of football news. But uh Tank Bigsby. I think it was Best Ball Viper reposted somebody posting it, and it was Tank Bigsby was the second best at yards created before the line of scrimmage, which is like not a good stat. It just means that offensive line play was so bad and he persevered through it. That's a good stat. It's not a it's a bad team stat. It's a good personal stat, I guess.
Okay.
That he like prevailed in like bad circumstance. But it's also a loaded stat, I believe. Yeah. I'll see if I can find it here.
Well, I think everybody should click on the Hayden and Josh link that I just sent and vote for ETN so we can continue to muddle the waters and make people continue to click ETN
Okay, so
in their drafts.
So this link that you sent, can you put it in the private chat so I can click on it too? Is it just a vote on their new socials of who's going to win the backfield?
Yeah, it's like who you taking.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to keep ETN in favor here.
Okay, so it's just Tootin versus ETN straight up. All right. 7 votes so far.
I'm definitely a bit of a prick when I see a Twitter poll. I almost always vote with ill intent.
Insincerely.
Oh, always. I'm always trying to like stuff ballots on the side that I don't agree with. Like anytime Jewish McCaffrey posts a Twitter poll, I'm always voting like with hate in my heart, and trying to like make the answers incorrect.
Oh, that's a tough way to live, my friend, but I respect it.
It's actually an awesome way to live.
It's therapeutic for you.
I mean, like it's direct misinformation against my competitors. It's fantastic.
Yet we do a show every single day where we tell everyone exactly what we're gonna play.
I got that exactly. It's a perfect counterbalance.
It's a perfect counterbalance. All right, Nez. I like the idea of putting Loveland with Andrews here. So does the sidekick. I like that kind of like ceiling shot.
Okay.
And then I think I would, happily take one of these two running backs here. But if we do get froze out at the quarterback position again, we don't have Hurts to fall back on this time. So it's up to you here if you want to do, a naked quarterback or Penix kind of thing.
Let's do a running back.
Okay, who do you like?
Spears.
All right, let's do Spears then. I think this is probably our first on-stream Spears show. Maybe under talked about is like how well he played at isolated moments, even though it was a split backfield. Like everybody talks about how underrated Pollard is, like just relative to his usage and his role last year. And that was something that we harped on in the dailies, many times last year using the utilization report. But like Tajay Spears got that juice too. And they're very comfortable with both of them. He just seems like the rich man's Rachaad White.
Sure. Yeah, I think Tajay Spears is good, and you put Cam Ward at the head of the offense. Mm-hmm. Things should be better. More snaps for him, raw snaps for him. I would assume. I just think Tajay Spears is pretty good, man, and a decent standalone role. Good contingency value. You can say that about a lot of guys in that range. That's a nice running back pocket for sure. In general,
yeah, good shots. Egger's putting our team to shame with a 31 Jacobs there. That's a nice get. That's a nice little get there.
Who the hell is in that pit bull?
Everyone in the chat we told to go.
See, they don't even listen to us, man.
I like it. Nick recycling a great thesis of the past here. The great thesis of the past being that we thought Tank's ADP was always 2 rounds higher than it actually should have been based on the name Tank alone. Like that was a classic rookie season mantra there. He's running it back this year.
Yeah, that was a very fun fade.
It was a fun fade, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was on an island there, but had a lot of fun doing it.
Like if Brayshaw Tootin's name was like something lamer, like if it was Joe Smith, like how many rounds further behind? No offense to Joe Smith, but if it was Joe Smith, where would he be going? You know?
I don't think Brayshaw Tootin is like a sick name.
I think it sounds cool. You don't think it's a sick name?
I think Tootin might actually be holding him back a little bit.
Fair enough. Better than holding them in.
There you go.
Got to get a fart reference in, no?
Sure. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Put it on my tombstone, bro. Story of my life. We're all looking for the guys, and it's Eagles and Winky giving up the GMs out here. Romeo Dobbs goes there. I think this is probably a 5 running back team now that we've done this. We probably need some quarterbacks here. Penix comes all the way back to us that we could stack up with the Darnell Mooney. Good shout to you for passing on the Penix stuff. Dude, I would be down to take Penix and Tua here. It might be insane, but I think Penix for 1.
Let's for sure do Penix.
I mean, maybe it's too much capital after we did the Baker thing, but like McMillions for the stack, Tank because we're talking about it, Kyle Pitts for the stack and play 3 tight end.
I'm okay with Tua.
Let's do it, man. Like I know we spent capital at running back, and then we spent, not crazy capital on Baker, but you get a little bit of fall on both of these guys. Really solidifies the room here. You play both sides of week 17, which is less than ideal, but probably fine when you have 3 quarterbacks. When you have 2, it's a little.
It's still
dicier.
telling the same story.
Yeah.
No, I'm cool with it. Like Tua throws a ton to Achane, so that all checks out.
Yeah. And I guess it's kind of like accidental leverage off of the majority of Tua stacks that would emerge in week 17 too. Because if like Tua shows up in week 17, it's most likely because Tyreek went nuke in 15 or 16, right? So like when you show up with Tua alongside Achane, maybe Baker carried you through, you get there, and then you have that like little leverage play.
That sounds cool. Yeah, if that's the way it works out.
Yeah. I mean, we could Galbraith until we're blue in the face about all these things, but that's a fun one. And it's a feasible one. Like some of the stories we try and tell ourselves while we're drafting aren't as pretty as that,
Is it bad for the team Juju to have 2 lefties though?
Shoot. You got me.
Is that okay?
There. I don't know, man. Left-handed quarterback, like it hits different than like 2 starting left-handed pitchers or like 2 lefties in the lineup in baseball. Like, I don't know. It's a great point, Nez. I never thought about stacking lefties before until this moment. Fuck.
That might be a no-no. Time will tell.
Dude, we should have baked that into the solver.
Penix has a prettier throw though, for sure.
Yeah, he's still got a weird little hitch in it. Like, I watched him for a long time at UW, but like, I do think he has like a prettier ball for sure. But like everyone does talk about it comes different and the way that guys catch it feels different. So, maybe an extra year of working with these guys, getting acclimatized. Achane's been there now. This will be the 3rd year. Penix is going to be 2nd year with Mooney. So maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's just a unique thing.
Just speaking of lefties, I think Vic is still my favorite. Maybe it's just throwing motion ever.
Yeah, I mean, it just looked so whippy, so snappy, and in the football looked like he was throwing a mini football because he could just throw it so far, even though
It
he
looked like
wasn't
pretty effortless. A lot of those
yeah.
throws to like Deshaun Jackson just kind of looked like he was just kind of like in his backyard.
This is not a rabbit hole I was anticipating today. I got to think of pretty
I got you.
throwing motions.
Your eyes are closed. We're on the clock.
Shit, I'm thinking of throwing motions, dude. Cade Cunningham stacks. We got 17. What do you like?
Pierce.
Come on. Get it in there. Okay. Do you want to do a third tight end or no?
With who? Cade Otton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you like 3-3s.
We're about to find out if we do or not. Let's do it. The solver likes it. I don't see anyone that I'm like, yeah, we got to take that guy. Like, we can find a running back and a wide receiver in the next one here. Or maybe just 2 wide receivers. I don't know.
That was a bit of a luxury pick.
as luxurious as a 3-4-6-3 can be.
Hey, our running backs are pretty fucking solid.
Cade Cunningham. Did I say Cade Cunningham and Cade instead of Cade Otton on the clock? Probably.
You did.
Obviously. Oh man, multi-sport dunce. That's what I am. All right, 3-4-6-3, Nez. Baker, Penix, Tua. Like, that slaps despite the lefty correlation you've brought up. Henry, Achane, Scata, boys, mount up, and Tajay Spears. I think we still need one more running back there. And then Evans, J-Mo, Jennings, Olave, Mooney, who I've been disrespecting, but I've come around to learn that he had 1,000 yards last year. Alec Pierce, Mark Andrews, Colston Loveland, and Cade Otton. What do you think?
I mean, I like it. I'm a pretty big fan.
It feels like so balanced right now.
It definitely does.
How would you land this plane positionally?
I think I lean 3-4-8-3, but it depends on who's there.
Okay. Time will tell here. Time will tell here. Yeah, I think in a more balanced lens than that, but the truth of the matter is we made our bet in the first round. And if Henry and Achane don't smash, this team don't go burr. So you could just double down on that notion by realizing that capital spent and we're kind of light at wide receiver relative, and then tack 2 on. But I do think the ceiling shot is at the running back position. Yeah, this is a good point from Nick. Vic's ball always looks so sick because he was also the fastest guy on the field. So he would be like so fast. He'd spin outside. He'd miss 2 tackles, and then he would launch it like 65 yards. Like, that was good.
That's so true.
Bouncing the Rodgers release. Like, Rodgers release to Devontae Adams at the goal line. Like, just that one-on-one. Like, where they would just read it on the fly and it'd just be an option route, and he'd either throw the fade or he'd throw the slant, and he would just like 2 steps, perfect footwork, flick of the wrist. Like, that thing was clean as hell. I don't think it'd be like my favorite, but like, it's clean as hell.
I was never a fan of Roethlisberger's release. Like, he had some great years. I didn't think he threw an aesthetic ball. He looked like he was always pushing it.
Yeah, he was a shot putter. Dude, even like a guy like Peyton, who was like, okay, let's make these picks here.
Peyton they want us to take
Ray McLeod for the stack. What do you think about that?
No, thanks.
Corum, Keaton Mitchell. No, that's a handcuff.
Tutu.
Yeah, Tutu's got some 17. That was like a panic 17. That was also like my quorum idea. Now it's kind of
Take
gone.
off. Go green and yellow here.
Put it in the queue just in case. Dude, let's do Brooks.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
That's fun.
That's better.
Yeah. Do you like a guy who has like a ceiling out? Like Ray McLeod, like, yeah, it'd be kind of fun for like the 17 correlation. And like it cromulently makes sense, but like how many usable weeks is Ray giving us?
Yeah, I would think not many if things are breaking right.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he gives you like 2 usable weeks. So like, would you rather have 2 usable weeks and some 17 correlation in a 310 final? Or would you rather try and break the slate with just like Tajay Brooks is good, you know?
Mm-hmm. I like the upside shot with Brooks.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay, cool. Nice. So that one auto populated right away. Perfect. So I must have just had something goofy going on the last one, or I clicked out too fast. Elijah Moore becoming kind of like a staple of this last round now. People are getting warming up to him. It's funny how to watch the community kind of like come around these like secular 18th round picks as the summer goes, you know?
Who's that?
Well, right now it's Elijah Moore that's getting talked about, but like Mike Dubb and Jordan Whittington were getting drafted like every single draft like 2 months ago. It's just funny to watch the secular nature of the summer, where it's like we're all just kind of like intermingling these picks at different times.
You know who's the best time box contest pick? Maybe not the best, but just like you want leverage in a time box contest. Everyone is
give me a clue.
Give
me a clue.
Wide receiver.
Okay.
We've taken this guy. He doesn't get drafted hardly at all right now.
Mm-hmm. Some pretty ominous clues.
I mean, I don't know what clue to give you without giving it away.
Oh, okay.
Ask me a question.
They play for a contending team this year. A deemed expected contender. Okay. Does he play alongside a rookie quarterback?
Yes.
Tyler Lockett.
No.
Ooh.
I don't have a problem with Lockett, but that's not who I'm thinking of.
He's not on the same team. It's not Eric Alma, whatever that guy's name is.
I am Manor now.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. It's not a true rookie quarterback. It's a second-year quarterback. It's Ty Felton.
Oh, my fault.
It's Ty Felton. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, Ty Felton, man. Let's get this Addison suspension coming.
Right.
Let that shit hit.
Yep.
Ty Felton's going in the 16th round.
It's a good shout. That is a good shout. We were taking him early, and then we kind of stopped. Therein lies why you came up with the name, the secular notion of the last round right now, that like we can intermix so many pieces right now, but maybe we should just be getting concentrated. Who else do they have on their depth chart?
Apparently Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, Naylor. Yeah. Naylor Racer. Fair. I'm trying to think. Like they liked Powell last year. Do they have him still? I'll look it up.
Rondale Moore, apparently.
Okay. Rondale. Yeah, we could go name that dudes on like backup Vikings wide receivers, and it's just like not a thing.
Right. And Ty Felton, man, good baller.
Yeah, good shout. Ty Felton. We need some more Ty Felton back into our lives. All right, Nez, I got the solver report here. Not as much ADP value in this one as the previous one there. We did take a little bit of a rogue decision-making path, and that, really contributes to that ADP value number when you pull up HN 5 or 6 spots or whatever we did in the second round. There, it's tough to recover, but we wanted to try something fun here. We did still stick to that 1-2-5-1 through the first 9 there, or first half of the build there. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this one, dude? A little less, a little less quarterback capital, a little bit more running back, about the same at wide receiver, a little less at tight end, despite using 3 roster spots. Baker, Penix, Tua, Henry, HN, Scatterboys Boys, mount up, Spears, and Brooks. And then Evans, your boy JMO, who we pulled to the other side of the board. Jawan Jennings, who we like after the pick'em stuff yesterday. Olave, Mooney, Alec Pierce, Tutu Atwell, same dude, apparently. Same dude. Andrews, Loveland, and Cade Otton. A nice, bunch of, week 17 correlation here for a contest that it matters slightly less in the pit bull just because of the size of the contest in general there. But all in all, Nez, what do you think?
No, this one I think is better than the last one.
Okay.
Still 156 people in the pit bull finals, so you do want to correlate week 17. I think you just have to not care about the draft capital report here quite as much because we know what we're doing here. Where this isn't. I don't think you're going to do this every single time, but time box contest, making solid upside bets on guys that clearly have strong upside week to week and over the course of a season. I like this. I think the skeleton keys for this one are JMO.
Yep.
And Olave are what we need for this team to be a slam dunk for sure.
Do you like this team better if we take DJ Moore over JMO, or do you like taking the ceiling shot after we took the 2 running back start?
I think DJ Moore is a fine replacement for JMO, but
okay.
I'm JMO pilled.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. The other thing that's kind of a good evergreen thing with these reports and stuff is like ADP value. It's not finalized yet. It was our ADP value relative to this draft. We did not perform well, but relative to where it closes later on or the entirety of the spectrum, that number can fluctuate, right?
Yeah, call it real-time value.
Yeah, real-time value. Nice. Well said. All right, Nez. I think that's pretty good, man. We ripped a bunch of drafts. We talked about yesterday's slates. We messed around with the solver. Pat Moore asking what we mean by a time box contest. A time box contest is just in reference to a contest that doesn't last the entirety of the summer. So in BBM, we'll talk a lot about like the drafting windows of like, what you could do in June versus what you could do in August or early September. Like that spans the entirety, and ADP will then fluctuate throughout the entirety of the summer, and we will see shifts in value within a time box contest. Most of these contests like the Corgi and the Poodle and that sort of thing, like the Poodle's half full already. It's only going to last like 7 to 10 days. So the timestamp of a time box contest for the Poodle is like, it could only be, June 24 to whatever, July 4 or whenever it ends up locking. So that's what we mean when we reference time box versus other contests on the platform.
Which Pat Moore can now partake in.
Yes, welcome back, Free Pat Moore, alongside Free Bop. All right, Nez, tie a bow on it here. Good luck to everybody in the Daytime Diamond. I also know there's a WNBA slate, a 2-gamer there, if people want to jump into that one. And then keep filling these time box contests with the Poodle, the Corgi, and the Pitbull. We did one of 2 of the 3 there, and one of each of the Poodle and the Pitbull. Do us a favor, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and check out the good people at the Solver who make this possible. And there's a link in the bio below there to check it out. You guys saw how aesthetically pleasing it is, and those immediate reports, they just come right after, and you can dissect your team. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, shout out Solver, man. Appreciate you guys.
Awesome, bro. All right, guys, we will be back tomorrow. Going to be a loaded baseball slate, I believe. I actually had it pulled up and then accidentally closed it, but I think it's going to be like of the 8, 9, 10 variety tomorrow after a getaway day today. So it'll be a fun baseball slate to break down. And then we will do at least one football draft as well. And then we are going to record a solver series either today, tomorrow, something like that, that will be dropping over the weekend there for you guys as well. So at least 2 and a bit more shows coming your way the remainder of this week. Any final words for people, Nez?
Nope. See you guys tomorrow, though.
All right. See you tomorrow. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace.